Okay, well, welcome to gentle yoga, chair yoga. So for those at home, if this is new for you, or just as a reminder, only take movements that feel good for you today and that you've been cleared to do. So if I tell you to fold forward, but you've been told don't bend forward, then don't bend forward. Just bear in mind, just to keep your movements small and safe. It might feel good to take a big stretch, but we'll just do what feels good today. So let's start off by sitting up nice and tall. Whatever kind of chair you're in, it helps to have your feet supported on the floor. So if you're in a high chair and you've got short legs, you might want to put something under there. Let's draw the shoulders back and sit up nice and tall. And then let yourself lean against the chair so you've got some length through your waist, but you can still relax a little bit. And we'll drop the chin. And if you're comfortable with your eyes closed, go ahead and close them now. Just pull the elbows back a little bit so the arms are just sitting heavily on your legs. And just take a couple of moments to settle here, making any adjustments you need to. Letting the breath slow. Just bring one hand to the belly and the other hand to the chest. And think about breathing into those hands without forcing your breath and pushing them out. Just noticing that movement as you breathe in. You might feel the chest lifting, you might feel the belly expanding, and then relaxing as you breathe out. Let's do a few breaths like that into that front part of the body. So let's keep the hands there. Think about the back of the body, those back ribs. You can feel your back against the chair. As you breathe in, notice that movement of the back ribs expanding. It's okay if you don't feel that movement. Just bring your awareness to that area of your body. And then slide your hands to the side, so just onto your ribs above your waist. And think about breathing into the hands, pushing the ribs gently out towards the sides. And again, you might not actually feel that movement, just think about it. So we're trying here to get the diaphragm moving. If you think of it like an umbrella being opened and then closed, expanding, pushing your belly out. Imagine the edge of the umbrella attached around your rib cage and towards your spine. So we're moving everything in different directions, trying to stretch it out. Then we'll bring the hands to the belly, around your belly button, and think of breathing in all those directions, front and back and side. And if we can get that diaphragm to move a little more, maybe our breathing will be more efficient for the rest of the day. One more breath here. And let the hands relax down to the thighs again. Keep your eyes closed for a couple more breaths, just letting your breathing come naturally without thinking about how to do it or what direction to breathe in. Just breathe. Then the option is always to keep your eyes closed, but if you want to open them, we'll begin to breathe in and lift the chin. And as you exhale, lower the chin, let the back of the neck lengthen. Do that a couple of times. So depending on how your neck and shoulders are feeling, it might feel good to really let that head hang down forward heavy so you feel that stretch into your back between your shoulder blades. Do that a couple of times. Moving with your breath or taking extra breaths as you need to. We'll do one more. My neck's feeling very tight, so I'm enjoying this nice stretch along the back of my neck. Then we'll come back up to the center and we'll start turning the head slowly side to side. So looking towards the right. And maybe with your breath you would inhale as you come through the center and then exhale, turn to the left. So we'll do that a few times, nice and slow, and maybe paying attention to how much movement you get to one side compared to the other. Trying to keep the shoulders out of this. Just turning the head. And then we'll do one more to each side after this. And come back to the center. Let's make some circles down and up and around a couple of times. Hearing all those little clicks inside your head. And when you've done maybe 3, you can switch directions. And then come back to the center. Let's lift the shoulders up towards the ears. And let them relax down. Do that a couple of times, squeezing them up. And then relaxing. 2 more. And relax. And last one. And relax. Let's bring the hands to the shoulders. You can always do this with your hands down if your arms are tired. Bring the elbows forward and then up and around. So nice way of getting the shoulders to move. And think about those shoulder blades moving in and out on your back as you make these big circles. Let's do one more in this direction. And then we'll go the opposite way. So starting at the back, out and bring it forward. Let's do one more. And then just let your arms hang heavy. Give them a little shake, shaking up the wrists and the arms. Warming up a little bit if we really need warming up. And let's take that right arm. We'll sweep it across the body and then catch hold of it with the other arm. And let's look over that right shoulder. Take a few breaths here. And then bring the head back to the center, release that arm, move it around a little bit. And we'll do the left arm, sweep it across the body, catch hold of it and look over the left shoulder. And then release it, move that arm around. I'm just going to come forward a little bit on the chair just to make some room behind. We'll take that right arm out and turn the thumb down. So the back of the hand is facing your arm. Bend the elbow and slide it across your back. So depending on, I'll turn around to show you, if depending on your shoulders, you might stop here. You might be able to slide it all the way across and actually take hold of it with the other hand. So that might give you a little bit of extra stretch there if that feels okay. If not, just let it rest in the center of your arm. We still want a nice long spine. So we've got a bit of a stretch in that right shoulder. Let's turn the head to the left and try dropping the chin. And keep breathing. And release the hand, bring the head back to the center. Let's try the other way. So this time, left arm comes out, thumb comes down, slide it behind your back, either leaving it in the center there or keep sliding it across towards that right hip. And you might be able to take hold of that hand, pin it down a little bit. So for me, I feel a stretch down my arm here. So if that doesn't feel good, then you can just let it not come quite as far back. But I'm enjoying that stretch. So if you enjoy it, you can go there. And we'll turn the head this time to the right. And maybe try dropping the chin. So I always suggest dropping the chin. Depending on where your head is, you might feel a slightly different stretch here. So try finding a good position for that head. As long as it feels okay, you can stay there for a few breaths. And then release the hand, bring the head back to the center. Let's shake those arms out again, moving everything around. We're going to return to our first shoulder stretch, because always better second time around. Right arm out and across, catch hold of it, and then look over that right shoulder. Feels completely different second time around, doesn't it? Breathing slowly and smoothly, if you can. And then release that, move it around. And then we'll do once more on the left arm, sweeping it across, catching hold and turning the head. And then release that and move it around. And then if you were still at the front of your chair, you can come back and you can still rest a little bit there. So let's warm up our hands a little bit. We'll start with our fists, making circles at the wrist. And switching directions. And make a fist. Stretch and fist a couple of times. Curling them out and then curling them in. Then we'll add to that stretch, claw and beak and fist. Stretch and claw and beak and fist. Then we'll change it, claw and fist and beak and stretch and claw, stretch, fist, claw, beak, stretch, claw, fist, beak, stretch. Now I want you to close your eyes and just follow the instructions by listening. So we'll start with stretch, fist, beak, fist, claw, stretch, claw, stretch, beak, fist, claw, beak, claw, fist, beak, stretch, fist. And then you can open your eyes and give everything a little shake. So we're just trying to get all the senses working there. There's a bit of water. And we'll stretch out our arms and fingers. Let's start with the fingers. So right hand, palm facing up. We'll take opposite hand, 2 fingers, let them rest on that pinky. So again, we're not pushing down actively. We're just letting the weight of these fingers do the work for us, keeping those shoulders relaxed. And then the ring finger. And the middle finger. And the index finger. And then we'll stretch out that thumb. And let that thumb relax and move it around a little bit using that left hand. So there's no effort from the working thumb. Trying to get a little bit of mobility there. And maybe giving it a little bit of TLC. And any other knuckles that would benefit from a little bit of extra blood flow, which is probably all of them. And then we'll try the other hand. So left hand palm up, pinky finger, ring finger, And let's try the middle finger. And the index finger. And then a little stretch of the thumb. And we'll do the same thing here. Let this thumb be soft and relaxed and move it around with your other hand, trying to get a little bit more mobility there. And then you can start rubbing at that joint gently, any other joints along each finger. Maybe return to the other hand, do the same there, giving each finger a little bit of attention. And let's stretch out the arm. So we'll bring that right arm out like a stop, turn the palm down, the fingers down, and then stretch out here. So just make sure the shoulder is as relaxed as you do that, away from the ear. And then relax that arm, give it a little shake out. And we'll try the left hand out to the front, turn it down, and stretch it out. And then release that, give it a little shake. Nice. Let's move our feet a little bit. So bringing them in so they're parallel to each other, lift up onto the balls of the feet, and then rocking back onto the heels, pulling those toes back towards you. So we'll do that a few times, lifting up and back. And then we'll do one toe and one heel, and switch, and switch, and switch. A few times. And then we'll begin to move the legs a little bit. So we'll slowly lengthen one leg, and then the other. Lift and lift. And when you feel that your knees are warmed up a little bit, think of lengthening through the back of that leg and reaching through the heel. So lift and lengthen. Reach, pushing through that heel. You're pushing something out the way. We'll do one more each foot. And then we'll come back to that right leg, lift it up, and we'll point and flex. And then we'll try to keep the leg still, just circle at that ankle. And then switch directions. So we don't have any socks that we can copy here. So let's see. Let's just write sunshine, since we've got a nice sunny day here with that big toe. Sunshine. Really, we're just trying to get that ankle to move kind of randomly, and then bring it down, give it a little shake. And then we'll try the left leg. Start by pointing and flexing a few times. And then we'll make those circles. And switch directions. Let's try sunshine again, because there's actually lots of different movements in that. I was going to do October, but there's a lot of O's in it. And then bring it down, give it a little shake. And again, you can just move your ankles around. Just game we play. Let's bring our feet a little bit wider. Turn them out and then turn them in. So we're rotating not just the ankles, but the whole legs here. So notice how the knees come together and then the knees come apart. So we're just making that movement, moving the legs a little bit in and out, getting some rotation. Good. Nice. And then we'll come back to the center and let's begin to move our spine. Let's start with a little bit of cat-cow. So think of lifting the chest as if there's a string on the chest. It's lifting the upper back, lengthening through the neck. And then maybe draw the shoulders back. The ribs can come forward and you can rock forward on the pelvis. And come through the center, turning the opposite way. Tail tucks under, spine rounds, and shoulders come forward. So we're doing this really slowly. You might need to take a couple of breaths to do that. As you lift the chin and the chest, draw the elbows back towards the waist. Draw the shoulder blades together. Come through the center, tuck the tail under like a sad dog, rounding the spine forward. Let's do that 2 more times, nice and slowly. Lifting the chin and chest, shoulder blades come towards each other, and fold. So if you can imagine a skeleton, picture this movement of the spine, extending it, and then flexing it forward. So pausing here with your hands on your knees. This is your resting pose or child's pose, or if you prefer, you could bring your forearms to your thighs, and that would be maybe give you a longer spine. It might feel more comfortable. So anytime you want to take a pause, come to this position and take a few breaths. Let's come back to the center, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to move the spine sideways now. So let's bring the arms down by the side. So get really tall first. Find some length in the waist here. So you're pulling your rib cage up away from your pelvis. And then a little side bend towards the right. So you're reaching down for something, then up through the center and over to the left. And as you're making these movements, try to keep the opposite side of your pelvis heavy on the mat. So we're not leaning and lifting up here. We're trying to get curve in our spine. So we'll do 1 more like this to each side, keeping that anchored on the floor, on the chair. And then we'll add some arms. So as you come over to the right, let that left arm slide up towards your armpit, like a little monkey arm. And then slide it down and slide that right arm up. So lifting that elbow. Do a couple like that. So this is a good place to think about, I don't want to move my arms, so I'll keep them down. So you don't have to do the arms. We're just moving the spine. We're going to add here, keep reaching and bring that arm up beside the ear. And then bring it down and then up and over. So nice and slowly sliding it down as though that arm coming down is what's pulling the body down, reaching up and over. And we'll come up and over again. This time we're going to pause here for a couple of breaths. So that left arm is up beside the ear. Let's turn the head and the body a little bit towards the floor. So you're taking your shoulders and just turning them a little bit. Head's looking down. Keep breathing. Bring that left hand down to the thigh. Then straighten up that spine and keep twisting to the right. Now keep the chest in this position. Keep the arms in this position, but slowly turn the head, very slowly, scanning across the room, looking towards the left side. Take a breath there. And then slowly turn the head back towards the right shoulder. We'll release that right arm behind, sweep it all the way up and over. Coming to that forward fold. Take a couple of breaths here. And we'll slowly lengthen, bring the arms up through the center and lower them down. And we'll take that side bend to the left this time, reaching that arm up beside the ear. Keep reaching it, keep breathing, turning the chest a little bit towards the floor, turning the head to look at the floor. Keeping that right side of your pelvis, heavy on the chair if you can. Then we'll release that hand down to the left knee and lengthen the spine and take a twist to the left. So the hand can come to the hip or it can come to the back of the chair. So we're looking for a long spine here that's turning, so no side bends. And then again, we'll keep the chest and the arms here, but we'll slowly turn the head away towards that right shoulder. Take a breath. And then slowly turn it back. Release that arm, sweep it all the way up and over to the right knee and take a forward fold. Take a couple of breaths here in this fold. While you're folded forward, think about breathing into those back ribs again. And then we'll slowly lengthen, reach the arms up and lower them down. Just move everything around a little bit. Let's start off with a little bit of core work. So I'll explain a few ways of thinking about your core. You could think of the belly button coming in towards the spine and zipping up underneath the ribs. So try that sort of in your mind, pulling it up. You could think of these hip bones squeezing towards each other. So as you breathe in, you lengthen. As you breathe out, think of squeezing everything in towards the center. Either of those might work for you. Some people like to think about that coughing action of cough, and again, pulling everything into the center. So it's just a way to think of it to try and get those muscles to engage. So we'll come to our I Dream of Genie arms and sit up nice and tall. So the spine isn't going to change shape here. So we're not doing a cat-cow, keeping it nice and long, and hinge back. So maybe you reach the chair back, maybe you don't. Now use your breath, exhale, to pull everything forward. So we're trying to use these muscles to get us back upright and not our legs and other parts of our bodies. So just do that a few times. Leaning back, hinging there, and then use that exhale, pulling in. Pulling that belly button in, squeezing those hip points together. Think of the rib cage, trying to close that door of the rib cage, like they're little French doors and you're closing them. Let's do 2 more. And last one. And then take a little breather. And then we'll work on our hip flexors a little bit. So we've been doing this for a few weeks now. So one option is just to slide that foot open and closed, polishing the floor a little bit. If you want to add a little bit, you can lift it just off the floor so you're stepping over a piece of Lego or a little car. And if you're feeling frisky and up to it, you could lift that leg a little higher and then set it down. Lift it higher and set it down. So it's work on this muscle. So we're rotating that leg and lifting it. So don't overdo it, but try to do it enough so you feel that you've worked that muscle, which for me isn't very many times. Last one. And then we'll try the other leg. So again, we'll start with just rotating in and out. This might be enough work for today. One leg might behave differently than the other. You could do your little stepping over the Lego, so just lifting it an inch or so off the floor. And if that's what feels like a challenge today, stay there. Or if you want a little bit more, lifting up and over. So this leg doesn't want to rotate quite as much for me. Lifting up and in. So we're trying to keep that core engaged here and not using our bodies a lot to make these movements. So that's partly where the challenge is as well. Rather than kind of rocking forward and letting that body help you, try to keep it all pulled in nice and tight there. Let's do one more. And then relax. Let's bring the legs a little bit wider. Let's bring one hand to each knee and then drop one shoulder. And come back to the center and drop the opposite shoulder. So a little bit of a twist. You can make this a pretty small movement if you like, or you can bring your whole body into it. Just moving around. Nice. And then we'll bring everything back to the center, heel toe those feet in. Let's do a little bit of sun salutations. So starting by sitting up tall, finding that good posture again. Lengthen the spine, shoulders are over the hips and the feet flat on the floor if we can. Inhale and lift. Exhale to fold. So rounding the spine as far forward as you're comfortable. We're going to bring those arms up and lengthen that spine to more of a flat back. Shoulders come back and the shoulder blades rest on your back. Fold forward. Inhale, lift and reach the arms up. Exhale the arms down. Take a little recovery breath here. In and out. Inhale to lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lift, reaching the arms up. And exhale the arms down. Again, take another breath here, maybe 2 if you need to. And your arms may not move as far, so you could make this a very small movement. So if your arms don't come all the way up, just come as far as you can. If you need to bend your arms, let them bend. Coming up halfway to lengthen and fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up. Bring the hands down through the center this time. Let's just rotate those wrists down. Try to keep the shoulders down and then up and towards you. Oh, we haven't done this for a while. I can feel that we've neglected these wrists, or I've neglected my wrists. Let's do one more. And then release those hands and give them a little shake out. Wow, that was interesting. So we just had a full moon. And normally when I'm teaching yoga at the full moon, I try to do a moon salutation. So I thought we could try a chair version of that. It's an unofficial, unsanctioned moon salutation, so it's a version of it. So let's start. Let's start with our feet together. Inhale and reach the arms up. Interlace the fingers. Reach the index finger for the ceiling. Take a side bend to the right. Come up to the center and a side bend left. Up to the center. Bring the arms out and step the feet out nice and wide. So you're making a star shape, taking up as much room as you can. As you exhale, bring the elbows down towards the waist into goddess pose. And then inhale, reach, taking up lots of space. We'll do this a couple of times. Now, if your arms are tired, you can not move your arms very much at all. Let's do one more. Reaching up. Then we're going to bring the arms down. We're going to turn towards the right and hold onto the back of the chair with that right hand. Left knee reaches towards the floor. Lengthen that left arm up. And you might not take a little bit of a back bend here, if that feels okay. Keep breathing. Come back up, bring that hand down, bring the left foot in, and then slide it out towards the side. So you're still facing that right leg. Let's bring the hand to the inside of the left leg and come into your triangle. So tucking this left hip under, keeping the spine long as you hinge towards that leg. And take a couple of breaths. And then slowly come back up. Bring that leg in. Give it a little shake around in case it got any tension there. We'll come back through the center. Finding that neutral mountain pose. Sweep the arms up, interlace the fingers, reaching the index finger for the ceiling, and take a side bend left. Up through the center and to the right. Come up through the center, reaching the arms wide, heel toe the feet out wide. Exhale and bend the elbows in. Inhale, big star shape. And exhale in. Let's do a couple more like that. Really reaching up through the fingers. And then making your goddess pose once more. Nice, let's release the hands. This time we'll turn to the left. Holding onto the back of the chair with that left hand, that right knee drop towards the floor. So depending on your foot and your hips, you might be here, you might be here, you might be back there. You could tuck your toes under or have the top of your foot on the floor, whatever feels good at this point. We're trying to have everything facing the side. We'll sweep that right arm up. And maybe you can do a little back bend. And keep breathing. And then slowly come back up, lower the arm, bring the leg in, and slide it out to the side. Whew. Nice long spine will hinge towards that leg. And we'll slowly come back up, bend that knee in, move that leg around a little bit. In case you've got any tension, then come back to the center. And if you haven't had any water so far, this would be a good time to have some water. Let's try our serving tea that we've been practicing a little bit. So we'll start with the right arm. And let's go straight into it, but we'll go slowly. So starting with that right hand, so you've got a cup of tea in there. Let's just bring it in front of our belly button here. So rotate out to the side and lift it up. Rotate it over your head. Rotate it out, lower it down, bring it forward and then into the waist and then reach it back. Bringing it back in, out to the side, lift, over the head, around and down and in and back. So let's try to make that more of a fluid movement. Think of a spiraling movement. Do it at your own pace. Again, this is really just another trick to get our shoulders moving in all directions. Let's do one more. And then relax that down. Let's just pause here for a moment. Close your eyes. Let's get a sense if one side of your body feels different than the other. We'll open the eyes and we'll try the other side. So starting with that tea in front of you with your left hand, opening to the side, lift it up, rotate over your head without dropping tea all over your head, turn it out and lower it, bring it forward, elbow comes out as that hand comes to the waist, reach it behind, bring it back in, open out, lift it up, rotate over the head. Open and lower, bring the hand in, elbow comes out, hand comes behind. Do one more like that, nice and slowly. Open it and lift it over the head and open. Lower it, bring it in, elbow reaches to the side, hand slides behind the waist. and then bring it back in. So again, think of it now as that nice spiral motion. It doesn't have to be fast, but we can make it smooth. And you might notice that it's easier on one side, either mentally or just physically in the mobility of your arm and shoulder. Let's do one more. And then relax for a moment. Ooh. So let's try both arms at once. Get my head in the right place here. Okay, so we're opening out, lifting, spilling out and around and back. I think it is harder with two arms because I can't move my body to compensate for that tightness. I'll do one more. And then keep everything in shape. Just sit back for a moment, close your eyes, let your arms hang heavy at the side. They probably do feel a bit heavy now. Take a couple of breaths. And let the hands rest on the thighs. Let's give our arms a little bit of a rest because that was a lot of arm work there. So we're going to do some eye exercises. So the goal is don't move your head, but we have muscles, or we haven't done it for a long time. It's like any other muscle exercise, don't overdo it. So just keep those movements small. So I'm going to first of all focus on something far away. So if you can't see out the window because the blinds are down, but maybe focus on the wall, or if you're at home and you can see out the window, focus on a tree or something. So focus at a distance, then focus somewhere about 6 feet away. And let's bring your thumb up. So I like to rest my elbow on my arm so I'm not holding my arm out here, and then focus on your thumb. So we're going to keep the head still but look far away. Look in the mid-range. And then look at the thumb. You could look at your nose, but that feels strange to me. So you can look at your nose instead of the thumb if you like. So far, middle, and then close. Let's do that a couple of times, just changing your focus. And once more. And then relax the arm. So if you read a lot, or you're looking at your phone a lot, or a computer, it's always good practice to occasionally look up and focus at a different distance so our eyes stay strong. So now we're going to move our eyes in different directions. So again, without moving your head. So for me, I'm often tempted to move my head to help me here. So I make a little shelf with my chin. But if you can manage it without moving your head, then you don't need to hold your chin. So start by looking straight ahead, then you're going to look up towards the ceiling, so like to 12 o'clock, and then down to 6 o'clock, then to 3 o'clock, and to 9, then come back to the center. We'll do that a few times, up, and then down, and then side, and side, once more, up, and down. This is like having an eye doctor exam, isn't it? To the right, and to the left. Good. And we're going to look up to the right corner. So up to the right and then down to the left. Up to the right, down to the left. So on a diagonal, like to 2 o'clock and whatever is down there, 8 o'clock. Once more. Top right corner, bottom left corner. Good. Then come back to the center. We'll do the opposite. So we'll look to the top left corner, or to 10 o'clock, and then down to 4 o'clock. I actually can read a clock. It's just I'm trying to reverse it in my head. So what you'd be looking at, I don't know, can she tell the time? I said top left corner, bottom right corner, just with the eyes. Do that 2 more times. Up to the top left, down to the bottom right, once more. And come back to the center, and then we're going to draw a circle with our eyes, so you're looking at a clock moving. Doesn't matter what direction you go in, all the way around. And when you get back to 12 o'clock, let's reverse it and go the opposite way. And then we'll do that once more to each direction. Doesn't have to be a really big clock, just moving the eyes around. Ooh. So now we'll do something nice for our eyes. So before we do it, I'm going to remind you, if we're not touching our eyes, the bottom of your palm will go on your cheekbone here, and the top of your palm will go on your eyebrow. So you're making a little cup shape. So we're not actually touching the eyes. We're not putting this on our eyes, they're on the cheekbone. But let's rub the hands, get some heat there first. And then you can put them in that position. Cheekbones and eyebrows, close your eyes. Trying to relax everything here. And if your hands lose their heat, you can give them a quick rub again. Closing the eyes. And keep your hands there, but just slowly open your eyes in your hands. Just so you don't get that bright light in your eyes as soon as you take your hands away. And then slowly release your hands. Coming out of that, and you can put your glasses back on if you have glasses. Cool. Let's come back to our legs a little bit and scoot forward on our chair. We'll take that right leg out in front, heels on the floor and the toes are reaching back, and we'll bring the left foot flat on the floor so the ankle is underneath the knee. Keeping that spine long, hinge forward. A few more breaths here. And slowly lengthen. Bring that leg in, move it around. And then we'll try the other side. So again, heels on the floor, other foot is nice and supported, flat on the floor, and hinge forward. And slowly lengthen. Bring that leg in, move around a little bit. We'll set up for our seated pigeon pose. So if you're at home and you have issues with your hips, it might be just enough to bring this right heel to the opposite ankle, let that leg turn out to the side. Or you could bring it onto a small block or a book or a footstool, or you can bring it all the way up to your thigh if that is comfortable. Wherever you are, this right foot is flexed, so the toes are pointing back to the shin, and we have equal weight on those sits bones. So you might already feel a stretch here, so in which case you'd stay here, or you could bring the chest forward an inch or two, take a few breaths, let everything relax, and maybe you can come a bit further forward. So we're going to hold this for several breaths. Give your body time to ease into this. Think of that hip softening and relaxing. And slowly lengthen the spine. Unwind that leg. Move it around. And then we'll do the other side. So one leg might be very different than the other. So again, you can start here, bring it onto something small, or bring it over the thigh. Equal weight on the sits bones. That supporting leg is flat on the floor, that foot. Left foot is flexed. And coming forward an inch or two, you might feel that stretch on the outer hip. When you do, then pause and breathe and let it release. Slowly lengthen the spine. Unwind that leg, move it around a little bit. I really needed that. And we'll come back to the center. Take any last movement that might feel good before you can relax, maybe moving the shoulders and the head or rotating the legs. So you can find a comfortable way to sit. That might be with your feet up on something, keeping them on the floor. Still want to keep that waist nice and long. Let yourself relax to the back of the chair. Hands come to the thighs and we'll drop the chin. And if you're comfortable with your eyes closed, go ahead and close them. If not, keep a soft focus a few feet away. And we'll just bring our awareness to different parts of the body. And as we do that, we'll try to let that part relax and let go of any tension there. So we'll start with the top of the head. And the forehead. And the cheekbones. The jaw. The tongue. The throat. The center of the chest. The belly. The shoulders. The upper arms. Elbows. Lower arms. Wrists. Palms. And fingers. The back of the neck. The upper spine between the shoulder blades. The middle back. All the way down the spine to your tailbone. The back of your legs on the chair. Feel the weight of your hands on your thighs. Your knees. Lower legs. Ankles. Soles of the feet. Down through your toes. As you breathe in, imagine you're breathing in from the tips of your toes all the way up through your body, through the top of your head. And as you're breathing out from the top of your head down through your body, exiting through the tips of your toes. Just a few times, imagining that breath coming all the way up through the body and all the way down. 2 more times. And let your focus rest on your breath. Noticing the movement of your breath in your chest, your belly, around your nostrils and throat. Just one breath at a time, in and out. If you're at home and you want to stay here, you could let the video end and stay here as long as you are comfortable. If you need to get moving, you can begin to move your fingers and toes, the wrists and the ankles, maybe lengthening one leg and then the other, maybe taking a big good morning stretch. And we'll sit up nice and tall and bring the hands to the heart. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Always grateful to have this beautiful space, and we're very grateful for this beautiful day. We're missing lots of friends here today, so we send them all good wishes and hope to see them soon. Thank you all. Namaste.